When the market drops, everyone starts saying the same things. Hold on. Don't sell. It's temporary. And you know what? They're right. But no one tells you the most important thing, how long your recovery will actually take. Not in textbook years, specifically, for your portfolio, for your losses. Today, I'm going to show you the one number that determines it. It's called the recovery ratio, and after this video, you'll never look at drawdowns the same way again. Let's start with what most people don't understand about the math of losses. There's one idea that changes everything. It's called loss asymmetry, and it explains why losing money is far more painful than it seems at first glance. Not emotionally, mathematically. Imagine your portfolio was worth $100,000. The market drops 10%. Now you have $90,000. How much do you need to gain to get back to $100,000? Most people say 10%. Sounds logical, right? Down 10, up 10. But that's wrong. You need to gain 11.1%. Not from the original amount, but from what's left. That's different math. Now increase the drop. Down 20%. You need plus 25% to break even. Down 30%, plus 43%. Down 40%, plus 67%. Down 50%, plus 100%. Yes, if your portfolio is cut in half, you need to double what's left just to get back to zero. No profit. Just zero. Here's the simple rule: the deeper the hole, the steeper the climb. And that climb doesn't grow linearly, it curves. Every additional percent of loss costs you more on the way back up. But wait, we're not at the most important part yet. Knowing how much you need to gain is only half the equation. The other half is time. How many years it will take to recover at a realistic rate of return. And this is where that one number comes in. It's called the required rate of return for recovery, or simply RRR. This isn't some complex term from a university textbook. It's just the answer to one question. If I'm currently down X percent and my portfolio earns Y percent per year on average, how long do I have to wait? Let's break it down with an example. Say you're an investor. Your portfolio drops 30%. That's painful, but not catastrophic. Now you need to gain 43% to break even. Okay, question. If the market averages 8% per year, how long will it take? The answer, 4 years and 7 months. Almost 5 years. Just to get back to where you were, without factoring in inflation, without considering what you could have earned during those 5 years if the crash hadn't happened. And what if the market returns 5% instead of 8% during that period? Now it's about 7.5 years, almost a decade, and you didn't make any money, you just recovered. Now let's talk about real crashes. Not hypothetical ones, but those that actually happened. Because when you see these numbers tied to real events, they hit differently. The dot-com crash. The Nasdaq fell 78% from March 2000 to October 2002. 78%. To recover from that at an average return of 10% per year, you'd need 16 years. 16. And that's exactly what happened. The Nasdaq fully recovered only in 2015. 15 years of waiting. The 2008 financial crisis. The S&P 500 fell 56% from its peak. To recover at a 10% annual return, you'd need about 8.5 years. The index recovered around 2013, about 5.5 calendar years, but only because returns were higher than average during that period. Japan's Nikkei. It peaked in 1989 and only recovered to that level in 2024. 35 years, an entire generation. These examples aren't meant to scare you. They're meant to show you one simple truth. Recovery math isn't abstract. It's real time from your real life. And now, the most important part of this video. I want to give you a tool you can use right now. A simple recovery calculator, no complex formulas, no Excel. Just 3 steps. Step 1. Determine your current drawdown. How many percent your portfolio has fallen from its peak? Not from the start of the year, but from the highest point it reached. That's your depth. Step 2. Calculate the required gain to recover. The formula is simple. If we denote the drawdown as D in percent, then the required gain is D divided by 100 minus D, multiplied by 100. For example, a 40% drop, 40 divided by 60 times 100 equals 67%. That's it. No magic. Step 3. Determine a realistic expected return for your portfolio. For a conservative portfolio with bonds, 4 to 5% per year. For a balanced one, 6 to 8%. For an aggressive equity-focused portfolio, 8 to 10%. For very aggressive portfolios with concentrated positions, you can assume 12%, but be honest with yourself. Now divide the required gain by your expected annual return, and you get the number of years. That's your number, your personal recovery timeline. Let's walk through a few scenarios together. Your portfolio is down 20%. Expected return, 8%. Required gain, 25%. Divide by 8, and you get about 3 years and 2 months. That's manageable. 3 years, and you're back to where you started. Your portfolio drops 40%. Expected return, 8%. Required gain, 67%. Divide by 8. That's about 8.5 years. Now it's serious. 8.5 years of waiting. Your portfolio drops 50%. Expected return, 6%. Required gain, 100%. Divide by 6, 17 years. 17. If you're 45 now, you'll just get back to zero at 62, with no buffer left for retirement. This is why drawdown depth matters not just psychologically, it's measured in years of your financial life. But there's another thing almost no one talks about. It's called return drag, or in other words, volatility penalty. Even if your portfolio averages 10% per year, you won't recover in the calculated time, because averages and reality are not the same. Here's why. If in year 1 you gain plus 30%, and in year 2 you lose minus 10%, your arithmetic average is plus 10%. But your actual compounded growth is lower, because you lost more from a larger base. This is a mathematical effect known as geometric drag, and it always works against you in volatile portfolios. A simple example. Portfolio, $100,000. Year 1, plus 50% to $150,000. Year 2, minus 33% to back to $100,000. Arithmetic average plus 8.5% over 2 years. Real result, 0. This means that when you calculate recovery time, don't use optimistic returns. Use conservative ones. Add another 20 to 30% to your timeline as a buffer. Markets rarely grow in a straight line. Now let's talk about what you can actually do with this knowledge. Because recovery math isn't just about the past, it's about the decisions you make today. First and most important, protection from large drawdowns is cheaper than recovering from them. If you reduce your maximum drawdown from 50% to 30%, you didn't just save 20% of value, you saved 10 years of recovery time. 10. That's the real cost of risk. Second, diversification isn't about limiting returns. It's about reducing the depth of the hole. A portfolio that never drops more than 25% will mathematically recover faster than one that drops 50%, even if they have the same average return. It's counterintuitive, but it's true. Third, age matters, not just in advisory templates, but mathematically. If you're 30 and go through a minus 50% drawdown, you still have 17 years to recover and another 20 to grow. Painful, but not fatal. If you're 60 and experience the same minus 50%, those same 17 years mean you might only recover at 77, with zero real profit over 2 decades. That's a completely different situation. So drawdown depth is not just a percentage, it's years of your financial time. And that time doesn't recover along with your portfolio. Another important point, there's a difference between price recovery and wealth recovery. Prices may return in 5 years. But if inflation eats 20% of real value during that time, you haven't recovered. You're still down. It just doesn't show on the chart. So always include an inflation adjustment in your calculations. If you're in Ukraine, consider multiple scenarios because inflation can be unpredictable. If you're invested in dollar assets, assume 3 to 4% annual inflation and add that time to your recovery horizon. Real recovery means restoring purchasing power, not just the number on your account. Now, let's talk about psychology. Because recovery math doesn't just affect numbers, it shapes decisions at the worst possible moments. Here's what happens to most investors during a crash. The market falls. Portfolio down 30%. The person thinks, fine, it'll recover. The market drops further. Portfolio down 45%. Anxiety kicks in. The market falls again. Portfolio down 55%. The person sells. And this is where recovery math becomes brutal, because the loss is now locked in. Now they're not just waiting for recovery, they're also missing part of the rebound. Because after selling, people rarely buy back immediately. They wait for confirmation, and confirmation comes after a 20 to 30% recovery. The result: sold at minus 55%, bought back at minus 25% from the bottom. The real loss ends up being twice as large as it looked at the worst point on paper. Understanding recovery math isn't about being brave. It's about making rational decisions when you're scared. When you know that a minus 40% drawdown takes about 8.5 years to recover at average market returns, that's not comfort. That's a concrete plan. And a concrete plan calms you better than any motivation. Let's summarize everything. First, loss math is asymmetric. It's easier to lose than to recover. Every percent down requires a larger percent up. Second, the one number that determines recovery time is the ratio of required gain to expected annual return. That's your personal recovery timeline in years. Third, volatility drag always increases real recovery time compared to calculated estimates. Use conservative assumptions. Fourth, drawdown depth isn't just a percentage, it's years of your financial life, and protection from large losses is cheaper than recovering from them. Fifth, real recovery accounts for inflation. Getting your account balance back doesn't mean your wealth is restored. Sixth, knowing your numbers isn't passivity, it's a weapon against panic. Here's your homework for today. Open your brokerage account or portfolio tracker. Find your peak value and your current value. Calculate your drawdown. Calculate the required gain using the formula I gave you. Estimate a conservative expected return. Divide and get your number. That number might be less scary than you thought. Or more serious. Either way, you'll know. And knowing is always better than guessing. If this video was helpful, hit like. Not because that's what people say at the end, but because the algorithm will show it to someone staring at a red portfolio right now, not knowing what to think. Maybe these numbers will help someone avoid a bad decision at a bad moment. See you in the next video.